When I got out of prison, I went to a halfway house in Utah. I'd been serving my prison time in California, so my husband came and picked me up and he drove me back to Utah to a halfway house. Now, people are going to ask, why did I have to go to a halfway house? And I will answer that at the end, but I just want to share what that experience was like. First of all, it was completely overwhelming to leave prison. Everyone that I saw leave prison was super excited, but when I got out, I was like, wait a minute, why do I feel so weird? Like even going into a gas station felt completely overwhelming. So we drove back to Utah, and on our way to the halfway house, our kids met us off the freeway, like at a rest stop, because we were kind of in a crunch for time to get there. I was so paranoid. I'm like, I don't want to be late. I don't want him to give me a new charge. And I just remember, I actually have some pictures I'll share at the end of the day that I got to see my kids for the first time. It was kind of amazing. But when I walked in, and some of my kids followed us up to the halfway house. It was super sweet and like helped me get in there. And as soon as I got in, it just felt so weird. First of all, I've been only around women. So there's men at the halfway house too. Our housing unit was in the back and it was very closed off. It was like this cement building with no windows. And it was in an industrial area. So they had just a little cement pad that you could come out and walk out on an hour a day. So I felt more locked in than I did at prison. In prison, I could go out to a rec yard. And I remember my first day there, I was sitting on a couch just feeling so strange. Thought, I just want to go back to prison. I can't stand this. This feels so awkward and weird. And a guy walked up to me. He was a native guy. And he's like, hey, are you okay? And I said, no, I feel really strange. And he goes, you'll be okay. I go, I just want to go back to prison. He goes, it feels weird when you get out. He's like, I saw your husband and your daughter. They dropped you off. He goes, it seems like you have a really great family. You'll be okay. And he goes, you know what surprised me the most about prison? And I said, what's that? And he goes, that mayonnaise makes everything taste better. And that's when I knew. I was like, okay, I'm not alone. Like there's people that understand this experience and it's not just me that has to carry it. I remember the next morning I went into the day room to get like a snack out of the vending machine, and there were a group of guys in there, and one of the younger guys, he said, ooh, the earth must love you. And I turned around and I said, what do you mean? And he goes, you have a glow. He goes, we're going to call you the Sunshine Girl. And I thought, that's when I knew I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Like maybe everything feels off and weird, but I'm going to make it. And the reason that I had to go to a halfway house is because they gave me 3 extra months off my prison sentence. And you have to go to the halfway house and do that extra time. I only had to do a month and a half, and then I went home on home confinement, but it got me back to Utah closer to my family.